Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm USA Today bestselling author Hildy McQueen, and I write medieval Scottish romance and some American historical romance as well. But today I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about scheduling. I'm in several author groups, and we always come around to either making time for writing or spending too much time writing and not dealing with the rest of what other things that we have to get done. It's easy right now to get caught up, especially with all the news. I am so guilty of the news. I get hooked on it. I have to keep checking. I get these news alerts on my phone. It distracts me from my writing. And then there's also the distraction of social media. I love social media. I am just going to admit it to you guys right now. I am addicted to Facebook and Instagram. I love going on there to see what people are posting, or posting things on there myself, especially, every morning I do my good morning with whatever cup of tea I'm drinking. And it's so hard. It really is, to kind of just stick to a schedule and do it. And even when you set it up, then you're like, well, I could just go look at this for a minute, or let me go, look at the news and see what's going on. I don't want to miss anything. And I've learned a couple things that I think I'd like to share with you guys. I'm going to be referring to my schedule that I have written down here to tell you guys exactly how I've kind of beaten that rut of us getting into, before I knew it, it was time for me to start cooking dinner or, go to an appointment, and I felt horrible because I hadn't finished writing the words that I had told myself I was going to write that day. Usually I have a word count that I like to do every day, and where is this flipping page? Oh, here we go. Usually I have a word count that I have, that I set for myself every day, and it's not a high word count. I set myself up for a pretty low word count so that I can feel like I've achieved something. And it's not like, it's 2,000 words a day. I set my word count for 2,000 words a day. And for me, it's very easily achievable. I don't normally write more than about 3,000 is my limit. So setting it for 2,000 is not hard. But more times than not, I was missing that word limit. I missed it yesterday, but that's different. I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, so the way that I set up my schedule now is almost no fail, mainly because I am a creature of habit. I don't know if you guys are, but if I do the same things repetitively, then I get into that habit, and I automatically look at the clock and know, oh, this is my time to be doing this. I'm a late riser. Let's start with my mornings. I get up at 8 to 8:30. To me, that's kind of late. I don't know about you guys, but I am a night owl, so I usually stay up till like 1:30, sometimes 2 o'clock. So I get up at 8 or 8:30. I do set an alarm, and then I make my cup of tea, and then I'm really excited about posting on Facebook in the morning. And usually when my alarm goes off at 8, I lay in bed and look at the news, so I get that out of my system. And yeah, it's probably not the best way to wake up, but I have the news, the news feed that tells you like the biggest headlines, what's going on. So I look at that, and then I get up and make my cup of tea, and then I'm like, okay, let me set up how I want to do my good morning tea and take the picture for Facebook. So I have like a collection of cups, and I take my time picking the one that I want to use, and it's a process and I have fun with it, and it's something that I do every day. So I set it up here in my desk, usually around this area here. It's where I set up my cup, and I figure out how to pose it and put things around it, things like that, and then I take the picture and put it up on my Facebook, which leads me to go to Facebook at that time. And then so usually I know that I will be on Facebook and checking emails and checking my sales stats, but I have to be done by 10, because at 10 I'm going to start writing. So usually I come in here to start writing, and start working around 9. I'm usually in here by 9, so it's a whole hour. That's a long time. It goes really fast though if you get stuck on Facebook now, so you're like, uh-oh, running out of time. So the first thing I do then is I check my email. make any notes, because I use the HB90 method, which I will be, I did do one video on it, and I will be doing a plan with me in it in a little bit. Actually, I'm set up back here. If you see this big black thing behind me, those are the lights where I film. So I look at my day, you know, it has a day, every day planning page. Sorry. So I go to that day's planning page as I read my email, make any notes of things that I have to do that day based on whatever emails I've received, reply to emails because I'm anxious to get on Facebook. Make sure that I go through that. And then the second thing I do is check my sales stats, check on my pre-orders, that kind of stuff, just to make sure that I'm on top of that. If some books are not performing well and I have ads going on them, I make another quick note on my daily page, because sometimes I know I have like 3 books I have ads on, and that book is not even making any money. I'm like, okay, let me go check out that ad. So check out that ad. It's listed as another admin activity that I have to do. Usually when I'm done with those things, the email, the sales stats, and then I can go to Facebook and post my picture, and then I go to, depending on the day, whether if it's Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, then I go straight to my readers page and interact there, post something there for them, tell them what's going on with me. If it's Tuesday or Thursday, then I promote whatever book I'm promoting at the moment. So then I'm done with that. At 10 o'clock, oh, let me turn on my screensaver because it's so pretty. At 10 o'clock, I start writing. And I have it set up. I have my notebook that I am doing a video on, so I know exactly what's next. I have it. The manuscript is already open on another screen. I don't know if it is right now. Let me see if I'm lying. I'm gonna look down here. Here it is. Yeah, it's right here. So the manuscript is already open. So usually I can just go in there and start writing on whatever I'm working on. And I also have a picture of the cover, or either pictures of the muses, so that, because I'm so visual, I have to have a picture of them because I don't want to forget what they look like. And as I'm writing the story, it might come up to, oh, he's describing what he's seeing, and then I'm like, okay, let me go back. No, I usually have a picture of them up while I'm writing as well. So I write in sprints. If you have a hard time reaching your word limit, sprinting to me is a no-brainer. I set my timer. I tell Mr. Google back here, I tell Mr. Google, set the timer for 30 minutes, and he does, and then I start writing, and then when he tells me time's up, I get up, make some more tea, stretch, take my dogs outside, do whatever, you know, little petty things, go take the laundry and put it in the dryer, or, you know, whatever I did have going on. Take meat out to defrost for dinner, you know, that thing. I don't time it, but usually I think I walk around and do stuff like that for maybe 10 minutes. I come back and do another 30, and I keep that up until I reach my word count. In 30 minutes, I usually can write about 1,000 words. But sometimes, you know, depending on how the story is going, it's more like 600, 800 words. So it shouldn't take me that long to be done with my word count. Unless I am on deadline and I'm running late, then I'll keep going with my word count. But usually once I reach my word goal, I stop. Not to say that I stop right at 2,000, but let's say my word count, you know, usually in my head, I want to go higher. So if I go to 3,000 or 2,800, whatever, I'm fine. I don't, you know, I'm not saying, oh, it's 1,999. All right, one more word and stop. No, I usually write between an average day, I want to say between 2,400 and 2,700. Some days I've gone on a roll and done 6,000 words. It just depends on my mood. So anyway, I have my writing time that it should be up by lunchtime. And at lunchtime, which is for me about 12:30, 1 o'clock, then I take a break and go eat and spend time with my dogs, do whatever chore of the day, because I always have chores, you know, we all do. Whatever chore of the day I want to get done, that kind of stuff. And it usually takes me about an hour, hour and a half, just long enough for my butt not to be numb anymore. And then I come back in here and do some more admin tasks. And, you know, and that's the time when I do another hour of, once again, check email or reply to email. Do those tasks that I wrote down while I was checking email that morning. Do those tasks then. And then after I'm done with that, then that's when I go into any projects that I have to do, and I give myself 2 hours for projects. And usually it's really easy to time because my project time coincides when my husband comes home from work. So he usually gets home about 4 o'clock. So by 4, that gives me 2 hours to do my projects, which is, I don't know, organizing ads that I want to do for promotions, filming. Filming is considered a project because my YouTube channel is a project. So if I want to do a video, I do that. Even though like today is Saturday, so I do a lot of videotaping on the weekend. I do work on Saturdays, but I only write on Saturdays, and that's it. I try not to do any of the admin tasks unless, well, today I have to answer some stuff, so today is different. But most Saturdays I just write, and then I do whatever I want to do with my hubby, the yard work, that kind of stuff. So that's how I organize my day. So just, if you guys keep it that way, keep it simple, don't overcomplicate it, then you will have the time. And I understand that some people, if you have children, it's a little bit different. But if you know that you're going to set your writing time for a 30-minute sprint, find a 30-minute video for your child to watch. Find a 30-minute way for maybe if you're going to write for 2 hours, pay your older child to watch the youngest, or have somebody come over and do a play date. Well, that's kind of hard with the quarantine, but you guys get the gist. Maybe there's something that you can do to distract the youngins for, if you can't get a full 30 minutes, maybe you can get 10 and do 10-minute sprints. So, and it could be fun. I mean, my one friend, she had a stop thing on her iPad, and she put a stopwatch on it, and she put 10 minutes on it. She put her kid in front of a movie thing, Disney movie, and said, when this starts dinging, come get me and tell me time's up. Well, the child thought it was so much fun to just stare at keep looking at the timer and wait for it to ding. There was one time that she got really engrossed in the movie though and didn't come in there, and that was fine with my friends. So you can always get so creative with ways to make the time. I have an old dog, and I have coined, I think since he was born, he has been the most annoying dog on the planet. He is so annoying. He ate things when he was younger. He ran away when he was a little bit older. And now that he's ancient, he has to go to the bathroom every 5 seconds. So he comes in here and whines, and you have to guess whether he wants a snack or he wants to go use the bathroom. But if you don't stop what you're doing and pay him attention, he gets louder and louder and whinier, and he does this rhythmic bark that's like water torture, like drop, 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 stop, drop, 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 stop. He goes bark, 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 stop, bark, 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 stop, and you're like, I am going to die. So, there's always distractions. Distractions happen all the time. But knowing that you have, okay, let me pause my sprint time. I'm at 15 minutes in, go do whatever I have to do, come back, hit it, and do another 15 minutes. It really, really helps. So the main thing is getting our admin tasks done, getting our writing done, and feeling like we have accomplished something by the end of the day is so important. And so really just set up a schedule that will work for you. When I worked full time, I took time during the day, during my lunch break, to do the admin tasks that I also had to do for writing, like checking the emails and making notes of what I had to do as far as admin tasks went. I was lucky enough that I don't know if it's luck or not, but when I started writing, my kids were already older. So when I came home and, after dinner, then I took 2 hours or an hour to write. And, my hubby was like fine with that, as long as I still got to spend time after that, after 2 hours, and sit down and watch television with him or do whatever. You just have to work around your schedule and make it work, because writing is not something that we have. It's not, how am I going to put this? Writing is not something that we want to do for the most part. It's something that we have to do. Our spirit craves it. We are creatives, and we need that creative outlet. So don't turn it into something that is hard for you. Don't turn it into something that is stressful, but turn it into something that you can put, squeeze in the time for it without feeling like you're taking away from things. I hope you find my hints to work for in some point or another, and if you do, just leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like. Bye, you guys.